Hey fight fans, today in this video, as you already know, on October 22nd at UFC 280 in Abu Dhabi, Islam Makhachev will be fighting for the belt with a real monster, with uncrowned champion Charles Oliveira. But the opinion of millions of fans has been divided. As we approach this covenant date, we feel voltage. Even when the conversation starts about this fight, we immediately feel the tension everywhere, in comments or conversations. There are endless arguments about who is cooler, Makhachev or Oliveira, or who. Even he called the fight with Makhachev convenient for himself, and he is sure he will win the fight with a submission. And I'm going to tell you the main reason why he is so sure, so let's go. But I do have one request: don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Recently, in an interview with the Flow podcast, Oliveira said, "This is a comfortable fight for me. He's a transfer guy, and everyone he met was a drummer who was afraid of his takedowns. He did it with ease, but this time his team will have to think carefully about the strategy. If Islam plans to do what he always does, he will have to transfer one of the best finishers in UFC history." He said, "I am sure I will take the first opportunity and I will finish him with a submission." So what did he mean? Does he really believe this is a comfortable fight for him? Or is this just another psychological warfare where he likes to get into Makhachev's head? One thing is for sure, he is not afraid of Islam, because there is nothing else that he can bring to the table that Oliveira hasn't met before. Oliveira is not afraid to take a punch, and even less so to be taken down, taking into consideration that the ground is where his comfort zone is. So is he bluffing when he says this is a comfortable fight for him? Absolutely not. You can look at who he has fought in the last, know that his confidence now is higher than ever. He's a grappler, and everyone he met was a striker who was afraid of his takedowns, continued Oliveira, explaining why Islam looked so dominant in his previous fights. So let's take a deeper look into this. Starting from his debut fight in 2015, Islam only fought 3 grapplers, but none of them were even close to Oliveira's level. Arman Sarukian was only 22 years old when he fought Islam, a young, still developing fighter, and that was a close fight, where Islam did not even look that dominant. The other 2 are Davi Ramos and Thiago Moises, 2 BJJ black belts holding mixed records of wins and losses, and way below Oliveira's level of grappling. All other previous opponents of Islam were truly more strikers than grapplers, who would be too concerned about defending the takedowns and therefore were defeated. Not to mention that his last 2 victories were against Dan Hooker and Bobby Green, both classic strikers who took the fight on short notice. And this is what Oliveira won't be concerned about. He can implement his striking game without being afraid to be taken down because, well, that's where he's most comfortable, and he can throw fast submissions at any time in the blink of an eye. All of this is the reason why Oliveira believes that Islam beat his previous opponents with ease, but also added that this time, his team will have to think carefully about this kind of strategy. And what would that strategy be? Well, taking Oliveira down, controlling him for 25 minutes, capitalizing crocodile down. We are talking about the best submission artist in the history of the UFC, a fighter that can end the fight at any moment at any given position. So what would Islam's strategy then be if not taking him down? Would he dare to stand up and recalls Gaethje on how powerful Oliveira is and how it feels to be knocked down by him? If Islam plans to do what he always does, he will have to take down one of the best finishers in UFC history, Oliveira said in regard to that. Now, Makhachev is a wrestler, and wrestlers give up their backs by instinct when scrambling for positions. If he gives up his back to Oliveira, the fight would be over. And not to mention that in the process of taking him down, he can dive into a deep guillotine choke and end the fight before it even starts. I traded with the best strikers in the division, and I believe in the power of my fists. I think I am way better than him in striking, and if he takes me down, I'll do what I do best: use my attacking jiu-jitsu. I take the first opportunity and finish the fight by submission, elaborated Oliveira on why he is so confident in beating Makhachev. As Habib likes to say, this is not trash talking, this is true talking. Chandler, Gaethje, and Poirier are all superior strikers, and Oliveira was not afraid to stand and bang with them. He knocked out one of the most explosive fighters in the UFC, Michael Chandler, knocked down Gaethje, who also hits like a tank, and finished him on the ground. And he also outfought Poirier in every aspect of the fight game before finishing him by submission. So it's clear that Islam cannot afford to keep this fight on his feet. Yes, he knocked out Gleison Tibau, but that wasn't a precise strike like Oliveira did against Chandler. It was a trick that every wrestler likes to use, a strong overhand right followed by a takedown. That trick is not going to work against Oliveira. He is too agile and precise on his feet. So what can Islam do here? Take the fight on the ground? Maybe he can win a round or two, but would he be able to hold Oliveira down for 25 minutes? There are so many different ways that Oliveira can finish that fight on the ground, and it would take only 1 second, one proper moment in that 25 minutes to get the job done. While Islam's way of winning is in the top besides Oliveira can beat him. Now, we are not saying that he is not good, quite the contrary. We do believe that he is one of the best fighters the UFC has ever seen. And if it wasn't for Oliveira, he could truly be a champion for a long time. What we truly meant to say is that Oliveira is on a different level than anyone else. The most complete fighter in the UFC right now and a champion that would not give up his title anytime soon. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with our analysis? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and please